PoliceAbuse.com received a complaint from a Mr. Morrison against the Putnam County Commissioner's Office. The complaints include an illegal search and seizure, harassment, violation of the right to privacy, and discrimination. PoliceAbuse.com is investigating the illegal search and seizure of property, a false arrest, and breach of privacy. Here's Mr. Morrison's webpage and original complaint to our website. Mr. Morrison has lived on his farm for over 30 years. In the past 4, he and his wife have been the victims of incessant harassment from their neighbors over complaints about what personal property Mr. Morrison is permitted to have on his farm. It should be noted that Mr. Morrison has also faced harassment at the hands of the Putnam County PD for the last 25 years. 2 of his neighbors expressed unfounded concern over their property value after the Putnam County Planning Office found no evidence of wrongdoing on Mr. Morrison's farm. Letters follow, the first asking for monetary contributions for lawyers' fees. Here, William's neighbor states, "We did not want William and the county left to their own devices." Here, we see the true intention of the neighbors. In quotes, we see, "trying to keep our homes and property from being devalued." Said neighbors paid to have aerial photographs taken of Mr. Morrison's farm and personal belongings. In them, you observe classic cars neatly parked away from the road and behind trees and other farming equipment, some out of use. Here's a photo of Mr. Morrison's farm and tractor. As previously discussed, the Putnam Planning Office took care of the matter and found no wrongdoing on Mr. Morrison's part. This propelled the complaining neighbors to hire a lawyer and solicit money for the fees, as seen earlier in the first letter. The following are the initial findings and documents concerning Mr. Morrison's property after the inspection, which was started because of a neighbor's complaint. Here we can see no violations were observed. The results of the report showed that Mr. Morrison had no action needed and that his property was in compliance with the law. The director of the planning department even stated, "It would be pointless to pursue this any further." The neighborly dispute would next find its way in court through the Putnam County Commissioner's Office, which accepted the aerial photos from the neighbors and ignored the previous findings of the Putnam County Planning and Dumping Offices by giving Mr. Morrison a restraining order. The Putnam County Commissioner's Office decided that Mr. Morrison was in violation of his zoning code because he was operating a junkyard simultaneous to his farming operation. The order stated that he had 30 days to remove all scrap metal not for farming from his acreage. In the restraining order, junkyard is defined as a place, usually outdoors, where waste or discarded property is accumulated and is or may be salvaged for reuse or resale. This shall not include any industrial scrap metal for normal farming activities. Even the county's definition of junkyard does not make logical sense considering it is marked by the sale or resale of salvaged goods, not the possession of said objects. Following the restraining order, the court ordered Mr. Morrison to clear his property in 90 days or face a $100 a day penalty, and they imposed a $5,000 fine on Mr. Morrison. PoliceAbuse.com is working diligently alongside his lawyers and family to get Mr. Morrison the justice he deserves.